It's Anna King here. Hello, good morning and welcome. Well, there's a few deadlines looming large from my next guest. There are rehearsals going on in the Cotswolds right now ahead of a production of Oscar Wilde's classic comedy, The Importance of Being Earnest, a handbag. That's going to be happening at North Cerney at the Village Hall there next month. It's one of, get this, three different plays that actor Mark Beer's in before the end of the year. Impressive, isn't it? That's not an easy business to be successful in, and perhaps even more so because Mark lives with cerebral palsy. He was determined not to let his disability stop him going into his chosen career. It hasn't, and 38 years in, he's now setting up an inclusive theatre company to open doors, he says, for other actors who might be marginalised as well. Welcome, hello.
Hello. Lovely to be here.
Lovely to speak to you. We've been having a good old chinwag. Honestly, I've got time for the show. We've got things to talk about, Mark, you and I. And you spent time in Gloucestershire as a young un, didn't you? Because you were at Ullenwood.
I was at the Star Centre, yeah. And I was there from 16 to 18. And in that 2 years, I studied drama full time. And I also did various exams for speaking, so I could learn how to speak properly and comfortably in a public setting like this, and pass with distinction, which was very nice.
Very nice.
And basically that's where the bug began, really.
Wow, so that was really formative for you then, for your career now.
Very, very much. I mean, at 17, I entered the Cheltenham Literary Festival, and I was playing Romeo in Romeo and Juliet.
He always takes the main roles here, I'll tell you now. No sidelines. Yeah,
and unbeknownst to me, I was, at the end of my performance, I was awarded the bronze medal at the festival, and there was a director in the audience.
You didn't know this?
Did not have a clue.
Probably good, because it would have made me nervous. I don't know about you.
Very, very nervous. And she was putting on a production of a play called Chairperson at Riverside Studios in Hammersmith. Their lead actor was a disabled actor, but he'd become ill with only a week to go. Oh. So literally 2 days after the festival, I was in London, and a week later I opened at the studios in Hammersmith at Riverside.
Stop it.
To play the lead.
No, back up a bit. So you had a week and 2 days to learn this part. You didn't know this part?
Not at all, no.
How do you learn your lines? How do you do it?
Well, I'm very dyslexic, Anna, so...
That's not helping.
So I have a team of lovely people. I have my mummy, I have my partner, I have my carers around me to help me. So they basically either record it onto audio in a very deadpan voice.
Right.
So I'm not influenced by their delivery.
So they're recording your part, right?
They record my part, and then I kind of listen back. But mainly, I'm literally sitting at a table and somebody's saying the lines to me, and then I'm repeating and repeating and repeating them. But normally, I'm only acting. This particular production I've directed as well, so it's a bit of a...
I know. Well, we'll come on to this in a minute, because honestly, the man has no limit. I'm still on that, a week's. I mean, it was a huge opportunity, but was there any niggle in your mind going, I have to say no to this, I haven't got time to learn this?
Honestly, I just grabbed it with both hands.
Yes,
I was very young, very inexperienced, and I just thought, well, these opportunities don't come along at once. I remember making a phone call to Mummy at home and go, I'm going to London for a few weeks. And she went, what do you mean? What do you mean? And the next minute, I was there.
Was she in the front row?
She was.
Of course she was.
She was.
So it's interesting, isn't it, how life, when you look back on it, I always think this for myself, when you look back on it, there are certain points up there where if, like the sliding doors idea, where if I'd said
just
yes
down,
or no, exactly, at certain points, life could have been very different. So that was a huge
massive turning point. And then that was at 17. And then by the time I was 20, I'd started working on telly and toured the country with Grey Eye Theatre Company, the National Disabled Company of Great Britain. And then from sort of 20 to 27, I was regularly on BBC teleprograms. I used to present a program called Playdays with preschool children.
Yeah. There's people out there going, oh, yes.
Yes.
That, yeah.
And then in the early 90s, I was in a drama series called Specials about voluntary police force. And I played the son of the lead character in that. And I was the first disabled actor that the BBC ever employed with a disability in a regular drama series.
Wow.
So they really got their money's worth. And I was...
wrung you dry. They did. The man was exhausted by
I
it.
was literally sent from pillar to post to be interviewed, which is lovely.
Which is, wow. The thing is, though, it's notorious, isn't it? The acting business is notorious for having loads of unemployment. You know, it's slogging. It's really hard to get a career, let alone adding on the potential complications of having a disability or people's perceptions of you and anyone with a disability.
I mean, when I started, Anna, there were hardly any other disabled actors. There was myself and Nabil Shaban, who's a very well-known disabled actor, who set up Grey Theatre Company and has since gone on to do great things, both in England and America and everywhere. And he inspired me because he was the only person that I knew at the time. But we look so incredibly different. We've since worked together on film, on telly, and on the stage. But it's funny how if I'd have stopped to think about it at such a young age and analysed it, I wouldn't be sitting here now.
No.
I literally did not think of the fears, did not think of the barriers, and literally went from job to job to job till I was in my from 17 to my early 30s, literally knocking down doors, and I didn't even know I was.
You didn't feel like you were that, jet setter. You didn't feel like you were
I just
leading the way.
literally wanted to work. And
did you have no's along the way? Did people assume too much about what you couldn't do, in their opinion?
Right at the very beginning, and one of my early agents, she was approached by a big BBC casting person, and they liked my face, but because of my disability, because they didn't see my disability from my headshot, it was for Boom. It was one of those big series at the time.
Popular.
And of course, as soon as they saw that I had a disability, it was a no-go. And also, I was constantly being carried upstairs like a bag of potatoes because nowhere was accessible.
Can we just say we are accessible nowadays? We've got a very good system now in place, certainly in the studios here, and getting in and out and disabled loose, and that which as is absolutely as it should be. But things
but
took too long,
to
didn't
1980. 84, 85 when I started.
It's no excuse, though, is it? I mean, obviously, everywhere should recognise everybody's access needs and then just get on with it. Let people get on with their job. But
I think
a lot's happened more recently.
Yes. I think things have definitely improved, and they are improving all the time.
There's a lot of people would say, you've got enough on your plate dealing with your own and all the work that you've got and the wrong impressions that people have. But you decided to take time out to help other people up the ladder.
I think what happened really, Anna, I was knocking on big doors for quite a long time. And I haven't not worked. I have to say that first and foremost.
That's amazing.
In the 38 years that I've been working, there hasn't been a year that I haven't worked. Obviously, I'm not working every day. Actors don't work every day unless they're on a soap or unless they're in something permanently. But I decided, as a result of knocking on the doors, that actually I need to make my own doors open, because I've gone, I think, as far as I can, in the sense of people know who I am, people know where to find me, people know I exist. So I just thought, well, I'll apply during the lockdown to the Arts Council and see what happens. And lo and behold, after this, I've got 2 productions coming up through my own theatre company, which is called Dramacot Productions, which is the Gaelic word for drama. And we open with our first production at the Chelsea Theatre in October, which is Talking Heads by Alan Bennett.
Oh my gosh, a wet buckets over that one. That was on the television. Thora Heard with the biscuit under the sofa.
You just can't beat Thora Heard, I'm afraid.
God, what a woman.
So I'm doing Chip in the Sugar.
Yes.
Graham is Chip in the Sugar. And a lovely actress friend of mine, Gwendolyn Winter, is playing the role of Leslie, as in My Big Chance, which was done by Julie Walters originally.
Yeah.
And because we're a brand new theatre company, we've only got a small grant, so we're on for, I think, 4 nights over in October. And then in end of November, I'm at the Actors Church in Covent Garden.
And what are you playing this time, Mark?
I'm playing Scrooge.
Yeah. What a great role. I mean,
lovely.
seriously,
Really
what a
lovely.
great role.
Especially when I keep getting told through self-tapes and live castings that I'm too young. So I just thought, oh, well, blow this. I need to do something about it. And I found a lovely makeup lady, and I have to say, she takes at least 45 minutes to make me look that old.
Oh, you see, she'd only take 20 for me, but 45 minutes from Mark. Yes, that's right. So you can feel part of things. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? And that the whole point of sort of, you know, putting your money where your mouth is, if you like, with your inclusive theatre company, is to open the doors for other people, because the experiences that you've had, and I feel like a lot of it's your determination. You just, you know, you assumed nothing and you didn't take no for an answer. But you must hear stories from other actors who want to work, who have a disability, who don't have that same
I'm
experience.
incredibly fortunate. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's been easy, because it hasn't. I have worked very, very, very hard for over a long period of time. But you have to have that determination, whether you are a disabled actor, whether you're an actor, whether you're a dancer, whether you're an artist of any kind. Because if you don't believe in yourself, whether you paint or sculpt, then nobody's going to believe you. And once you really and truly centre on your own self-belief and believe that what you have to say is important and what you can bring to your creative art is worth listening to, then I thought, well, why not? And people in the industry had been telling me for over 10 years, and Mark, you need to either open your own agency or you need to open your own theatre company. And I thought, well, I don't want to talk about money, thanks. I don't want to negotiate contracts. So I thought, well, the next best thing is to open my company.
Yeah. Just like that. It makes it all sound so easy, doesn't it? We know it's not, but, you know, respect to you because you followed through and now that's happening.
It's a bit scary.
Is it?
It is a bit scary because you just think, well, you know, when you go and do a job, you just go and do a job and you learn your lines and you turn up and you record it, or you talk to lovely people like you, or you go and do a live theatre show or whatever it is, and you walk away. When it's on your shoulders,
yeah,
I've got
people relying on you.
Lots of other people floating around going, have you done this? Have you done this?
And have you? I don't know, I've got a list.
I'm working my way through it. Let me just do one play at a time and then I'll move on to the next one.
Yeah. I'm still at that stage of thinking about how you learn all of those lines and continue to do so in you know, in anybody's circumstances, but doing it via people recording it for you and, you know, all the things that you do. But
Oscar Wilde is very, very tricky.
Yeah.
Very tricky.
And people know things as well. And they know a play. You know, you can't ad-lib because people know.
You can't go, oh, I've got a shoulder bag instead of a handbag. You know, people are waiting for that moment.
They are.
So, you know, there's a certain leeway, obviously, because there's 4 adaptations of the play.
Oh, is there? I didn't know that.
And we are using the original text and trying our best to stick to it as best we can. But it is incredibly tongue-twistery and...
It's fun. It is a lot of fun.
It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. It is hilarious,
It is very, very, very funny. And I'm very, very lucky to have been asked by NC Productions to come and do this. I worked at the Cotswolds in 2020 for Bonzo's Productions for The Sound of Music, the open air production at Chadsworth.
Gorgeous.
And they'd never cast a disabled actor before, and I'd never worked outside before because of access issues. So climbing that hill every night
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, that is a bit of a hiccup, isn't it?
to do the performance was hard.
But you did it, and that's
But
the
I
point.
did it, yeah.
You got it. It's got it on the CV now. It's done.
It's done, yeah.
Look, if people would like to see you locally, then probably the best thing is, why not? The importance of being earnest. It's Lady Bracknell. Thank you very much. North Cerney Village Hall, 1st to the 4th of September. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And we on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7:30, and then on the Sunday it's 3:00.
Mark, it's really lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for making the effort to come see me today. Really appreciate it, and I know lots of people will have done too. So nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.